So we'll say sales returns and allowances. That's what we're anticipating is gonna happen. And that account has a normal debit balance, so we want to increase it by $2,000. And we don't know who it is that's gonna return that merchandise or what merchandise will be returned, but we are anticipating it. And so that's where that account comes in, called customer refunds payable, meaning that's what we anticipate we're gonna have to refund to our customers next year. And so this allows us to reduce our sales this year for that amount that we deem probably unsustainable as far as being a 100% done deal as far as a sale, and it's going to be returned next year. Okay? So let's make sure that the book, yeah, that's what they're wanting you to do in what we call anticipated returns that haven't happened yet. It's just a way to stay conservative, because if Walmart sells even $1 million just in December alone, the chances of having, I don't know what their average return rate is. They know for sure that over history, it could be 5% of their sales are going to be returned in January, and people will get their money back and go and spend it somewhere else. So we have to account for that. Okay, so any questions on that customer refunds payable thing? Okay. Paul Jackson owns a retail business. The sales returns and the cash receipts transactions for April 2020 are reflected in the general ledger and account. What are they wanting you to do? Accounts receivable, prepare a schedule of accounts receivable for Paul. Verify that the receivable balances in the general ledger agrees with the I'm not sure what they're wanting you to do here. Oh, you have to go through there and figure out of the accounts receivable specifically who bought what. I'm not sure exactly how you find all that information though. Does it? I'll just get that one too. I'll give you credit. What is it really asking though for you to do? It's really wanting you to take this accounts receivable account, and it's showing here at the end of this cycle of transactions, there's $6,104.25 of receivables outstanding, and they want to know who it is that owes the $6,104.25 in the schedule of accounts receivables.
And there's no list of accounts receivable?
Oh, there it is. It's telling you the ledger, $984.40 for O.L. Myers. Kelsey owes $1573.70. So I guess it's wanting you to basically, like O.L. Myers, and list however much it was that they owed. And Julie or whatever, I'm just making some numbers up here, and how much they owed. So all a schedule of accounts receivable does is break down the big receivables account into who owes us all that money. Does it make sense? So I'd have to sit here with some paper and pen and write all this stuff down. But let's go on to this one, same thing, from the accounts receivable ledger shown, prepare a schedule of accounts receivable for Gulf Company. And they give you, from the accounts receivable ledger, James owes $3,200, Trish owes $1,360, M&T owes nothing, R and J Travis owes $1,842. So they're wanting you, of course, just to pick up each individual. So James is $3,200. The next one was Trish, $1,360. And this last one was R and J, and they owe $1,842 for a total of $6,402. And so, you follow me what accounts receivable ledger is? Schedule of accounts receivable is nothing more than a listing of, these are the people that owe us money. And it comes straight out of the account called accounts receivable. Okay, what was that one? Okay, so this is what I was really wanting to get to, is journalizing some entries for chapter 10. So we have all these transactions. We sold, we had Jean made a payment on account. We had Mark make a payment. We had some cash sales. We had Will make a payment, and then we had some more cash sales. And then when you enter all of those into general journal. So we'll try to remember here as we go. So Jean, somebody, made a payment on account for $750. So when we have a customer send us money, what's the first thing we're going to debit? November 1st. Customer pays us on their account, they're going to send us what? What do you want your customer to send you if they owe you money?
Payment.
Yeah.
Cash.
Specifically cash. Exactly. We want their money, don't we? So we should be going to the bank and debiting cash. And it said that whoever that was gave us $750 on their payment. So, of course, we know that every journal entry requires at least one debit and one credit. And what are we going to do? We're going to credit their account, aren't we? So when a customer makes a payment on their account, we debit cash and we credit their receivable. I want to go ahead and check this because I want to see if they want. Well, it's not going to let me. It was for Jean. More specifically, it should say, I guess, accounts receivable, Jean Oh, no, it turned it red. That's red too. So they just want us to use accounts receivable. So any questions when a customer sends you money on account? Okay, the next journal entry was on the 12th, and it said Mark made a payment on his account of $464. So, same journal entry. Got money, we're gonna credit their account. What was this, November 12th? We would debit cash for $464 and credit accounts receivable, $464. Okay, on the 15th, it says cash sales were $3,763. And since sales tax is not discussed, we will presume that that's irrelevant in this particular problem. Even though we know that's not reality, the book does discuss that some sales are tax-free. And so we're going to presume here that they were. We had cash sales of $3,763 on the 15th. So, on the 15th, if we had cash sales, what did our customers give us? Y'all know. Cash, right? So they gave us cash. I can't remember how much it was. $3,763. I really kind of detest this, going back and forth. I'm sure y'all do too. Okay, so if we sell on account or cash to from our customers, what is my credit going to be to? What did we say was one of the new accounts discussed in the book that was a revenue account that keeps track of sales of merchandise?
Sales.
So I'm going to credit sales, $3,763. And then on the 18th, it says Will made a payment on account of $241. So same thing that we just did a second ago. What day was that? November 18th. Cash. For $241. Debit. That's not what I wanted. Oh, I'm over far enough. And it was because that person owed me money. Okay, give me another line here. This is getting frustrating. That's not good. I guess I shouldn't have skipped all these lines, huh? Okay, are y'all getting that? Don't skip lines between your journal entries, like I was taught. And then the last one, cash sales again. Debit cash, credit sales. Okay? Okay, so here's some journal entries that are a little bit different. These are the ones that we're collecting sales tax on. So on September 1, we sold merchandise on account to K. Smith, $1,800 plus sales tax, sale number 228. And it shows you, or it's telling you, use a 5% sales tax rate. So let's look at that journal entry for a sale to K. Smith. It was on September 1st, and when we sell on account, wasn't it September? When we sell on account, what should we debit? about accounts receivable, right? They're not sending us, they're not handing me cash today, but I don't wanna forget that they owe me money, do I? So I'm gonna debit their accounts receivable. And it doesn't want the name, so I'm just gonna debit accounts receivable. And, I'm gonna skip that because I need to figure out how much they owe me, because I had to collect sales tax, didn't I? So the sale was $1,800 credit. But I collected the sales tax from that customer. So this is basically my, well, I think it was, if you do 1,800 times 5%, I believe it's $90, is that right? I think so. We'll check it here. So this is the setup of what my account should look like. I wish I could make this bigger. Y'all know how to do that? So, I sold the merchandise for $1,800. I record the gross sale as the credit to sales. I credit the sales tax payable because if I collect it, then I'm going to be obligated here in a few days to send it off to the Texas Comptroller, for instance. So how much does the customer owe me? How much am I going to record that they have owe me on account then? In other words, they owe me $1,890.
Sales plus tax.
Yeah, sales plus tax. So my accounts receivable is a debit for $1,890, even though my sales was only $1,800. I do have to record the liability to the state for which I collected the tax of $90. So that's what a typical journal entry looks like when we sell on account with sales tax. Okay, let's go to the next one. On the 3rd, sold merchandise on account to J. Arnett, $3,100 plus sales tax. What's that date? September 3rd. So it should be the same thing again. September 3rd, accounts receivable is debited because it said we sold it on account. If I could spell. And this will always be my 3 debits and credits if I sell on account with tax. And then, of course, I just had to fill in the blanks for the numbers. And it said that I sold the merchandise for $3,100. Well, that's my credit right there to sales. And I, of course, collected tax. So 3,100 times 5% is $155. So I will owe $155 to the state for that sale. So I'm going to collect from the customer, or I'm going to charge them for $32.55. Just simply the sum of the sale and the tax I collect. Everybody getting this part? Okay. And just continue on. There's 2 more journal entries in this problem, but they're all identical to this, recording the receivable for the sale and the sales tax payable. Any questions on that particular problem? Okay, let's go to the next one. And we did that one, did that one. Just trying to find one with the journal entry for taking a discount. But evidently they're not going to ask you that. Bless you. Okay, but again, all of your journal entries are, of course, outlined very specifically in your book. The book does a pretty good job on this information. Any questions on the basic homework here in chapter 10? Okay. That's due tomorrow, right? Okay. And then chapter 11 will be the next week. Okay, instead of getting all confused with 11, we'll just go ahead and, or do y'all want to discuss 11? Y'all want to go ahead and get it over with? Are we good here? I mean, nowhere to be, nowhere to spend all more free time doing something more fun?
I gotta go turkey shopping.
Of turkey shopping? I hear there's plenty of turkeys in town, so. Okay, we'll pick up chapter 10 a week from today, yeah, the 29th. No, I mean chapter 11. And then we'll be done with, the meat of the course, and then the rest of it will just be review until y'all take the final. But y'all can take it as, I can't remember, Nathan, I think, is his name. You can finish this up anytime you feel comfortable, so you don't have to be following any kind of schedule. Y'all have a great Thanksgiving. Stay safe. Don't eat too much.
You too.
I always eat too much.
Plan.
Yeah.
All right.
What would Thanksgiving be without that?
Let somebody else make it for you.
Exactly.
If only, that would be nice.
Yeah, well, my husband doesn't have any problems.
Dressing was like, make cornbread from scratch, so.
Oh, you haven't done it before?
We don't let anybody, oh yeah, I grew up making the cornbread and the dressing.
Good for you. That's not the hardest part, but that's everybody's favorite part. Yeah.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
You too.